What's going on, everyone? Hey, we are here on the great day of Wednesday, which was what day? It's hump day. But hey, we got the NBA this week. And of course, we're going to keep on keeping on when we're talking about inside the paint and everything that's going on in the NBA transactions and the MVP race. So that's coming to you here live right now on Sports Lounge Media.
Yeah, it's that heat, no chill, all flame. Sports Lounge Live, we never play no games. Talking stats, trash, take static night. Step in the ring, bring facts to take flight. Sound up, lights flash, it's about to explode. Every mic drop heavy, every angle we load. From the court to the field, we call it how we feel. No script, just skill, this debate getting real. Sports Lounge Media, where fire meets the mic. Say what you mean, cause we don't do polite. Welcome to the lounge.
The Sports Lounge Media Show is brought to you by Cali Built Graphics. Welcome to the lounge.
What's going on, everybody? How's everybody doing today? Today is Hump Day, and when it's Hump Day, it's a Sports Lounge Media Show. I'm super excited to get with you guys today. I am the chosen one here with our two hosts, Mark and Sarai. How are you guys doing today?
Fantastic.
Great.
I missed you guys last week. I did. I missed you guys last week.
Cool. What we're supposed to say it back. Oh,
No,
that's your cue
no,
to book. Was
No,
that the cue?
no, that wasn't the cue for anything. I'm just saying I actually missed being on the show last week.
Oh, cool.
Oh, you missed the show.
I missed the show. I missed the show.
Okay.
I didn't miss y'all. I missed the show.
Yeah, you did miss the show, but I mean, it is what it is. But yeah, we're here to talk about the NBA. There's a lot of things that have been going on since the NBA break, the NBA All-Star game, and all in between. There's been a lot of trades, a lot of things that have been going down. There is an MVP race. So before we jump into that, I just want to say thank you to everyone that has been tuning in thus so far. We are halfway through the NBA season and almost done with the NBA season, and then we're moving on. But go check out our reels. Go check out all the different things that are going on. MLB has started. Mark should be getting on his either reels or going on Saturdays to give you all the greatest news that has to come with the Grand Slam Lounge. And we'll be talking soon about NHL as well. We have a full schedule ahead of you guys starting in the month of March. So a lot of content to be giving you guys on top of the revamped website. You can visit us at www.sportsloungemedia.com and you'll get to see all the creative things that we're doing there as well, including meeting our whole entire team, the people behind the scenes that are making this happen. So thank you to all of you guys and all of you that are part of the Sports Lounge Media team. Let's get into the first one. Number one, MVP race chaos. So we have SGA, Jokic, and also Cade, and the 65 game rule. So we have SGA is the front runner, but his recent absence plus the 65 game minimum door has cracked for Jokic and Cade and even Wemby. Jokic is basically on the thin ice with games missed. While Cade has Detroit sitting in the best record in the East, growing the MVP narrative. Talk Ingles, is the 65 game rule helping or hurting the award? And who really has the momentum heading into March? When we're talking about the MVP race, what do you guys think about the 65 game rule? Is it helping or hurting the award? And who do you have in your MVP candidate?
For me, I think it's actually helping the MVP candidate because it's you have to earn it to get it. And that's the biggest thing. When you got guys that are missing, it's one thing if you're dealing with injuries, but so many people are coming out and just taking rest days and stuff like that. I mean, of course, when you look at, yes, I'm going to take it back to my era. Guys were playing 82 game season, full seasons. They were even at least playing 75. So to have a 65 game minimum requirement, that means you're allowed to miss 17 games. They don't play drastically. It's not a contact league like it used to be. We see it is a lot softer in my opinion. So I think the 65 game realistically I think that's a good thing. And as for a front runner, I've got Cade Cunningham. That's who I think. I mean, Detroit has the best record right now um, in the Eastern Conference. They are right there close with what OKC is doing, and just the talent it shows. MVP is always going to be it's the most valuable player. If you take Cade off that Detroit team, who does Detroit have? You don't have an MVP status. Not like if you take Shai, SGA, you have other players that are top performers on that OKC roster. So that's why I say Cade.
All right, so all right.
So I kind of find the 65 game rule maybe a little different. I feel like if there's one minor injury, the stretch could probably eliminate a candidate. So I feel like I don't know if that's something that's beneficial or has some debate to it. I would probably say I do like SGA for MVP though, especially if he can finish out the 65 games. I think he would be a good candidate for MVP.
Yeah. For me, I mean, the 65 game rule makes players play, right? You get paid to play and on the biggest stage, and I think that you should play if you're not hurt, right? But I do think that it does, like, what if, like, when we're talking about what ifs, right? Like, what if this player is having a phenomenal season and busting records and doing things, but yet, like you said, gets injured? And because of his efforts, they make playoffs, right? And they puts them in position to, get into playoffs, whatever, whether if it's a minor injury or a big injury. Does that person still deserve the MVP award? I mean, again, that's up for debate, right? But for people like, Kawhi Leonard, who's known to have load management, right? Where he takes a lot of games off. And a lot of players follow suit to that. But that's just one name. But for me, yeah, like 65 games you must play. And that's one of the reasons why they brought in the in season tournament, was to force guys to play. You have to play because they want to force them to play even more games. So to a point, I believe in the 65, and then to another point, if it's due to injury, that's where it gets kind of shaky and they're up for debate. My front runner right now is two guys. Okay, Wemby. I think without Wemby, that Spurs team again is just like Mark said about Cade. I mean, without Wemby, you've seen what they look like. He kind of spreads the floor as the five, forces the five out of the paint, forces other guys like the guys in the forward to flash to the basket. It kind of opens up their offense. A lot of focus goes on him. So it kind of changes the game. Another guy is Luka. Luka Doncic is having a hell of a season. If you look at his numbers, he's leading the league in a lot of areas. And so those are, I don't think he's ever been MVP too. And he's been carrying the Lakers right now. So those are the two guys that I have. Jokic is going to be Jokic, right? And Cade, I do give it to Cade too. Cade has been having a phenomenal season. He's taken the Detroit Pistons to being a nobody to a somebody. But in the same point, his statistician, like where he at in his stats, is that MVP caliber. That's up for debate as well. We have some guys talking here. 17 games is a lot to miss. NBA is soft. We have him also saying, I don't know if you can pull up the next one.
I got it.
Oh, okay. Jokic won the MVP so many times. He is doing a new one over the rest of the team. Yeah, Jokic has won a lot. But last year, SGA, I don't think SGA is at that caliber of MVP, though. I think he's a team player. That doesn't take away from his game or his presence or his value to the game. I just think that they play so good together that they could miss one guy. It doesn't matter who it is, even though SGA is the face of OKC. Um, to the point where they can miss him and they'll be all right.
I
But
mean,
that's my take.
when you look at Jokic. So these are the stats right now. This is the crazy stat, and to me, Jokic is averaging 28.8 points, which is sixth in the league. He's averaging 12 and a half boards a game, which is first. And then this is the crazy one: 10 and a half assists a game, which is first. You have a 6'11", 285-pound man that is leading the league in assists. There hasn't been somebody that big leading the league in assists since Magic Johnson. I mean, so him playing, he's missed, he's played in 42 games this year. Like I said, so he's got to hit 23 games left because he's got to hit 23 games, which, I mean, yeah, Lukic is going to be hard to, it's going to be hard to beat Jokic. Do I agree with what Luka is doing? Man, 32 and a half points. He's averaging 8.6
Yeah.
assists. But again, if you take Luka off the Lakers, is he the most valuable player?
Yeah, he is. This season he is.
You know,
If you take Luca off the team this year, yeah, he's the most valuable player.
you know. So that's where I think that's what has to be. It can't. They need to stop giving MVP to players that are on championship teams. I mean, how good is OKC? SGA was phenomenal last year, but do I think it could have went another route? It could have. But again, when I look at when I look at Cade Cunningham, you got a guy who's turned around just a couple years ago, 2 years ago. Detroit was so irrelevant. Like they were fighting for the number one pick again. So that's where you have to look at everything. I mean, no, is he, tops and rebounds? No. But still, with what they have done and what he has helped them do with that roster, I have to give it to Cade. But I'm interested to see what's going to happen because I do think that 65 game is going to come into a big effect because we've got let's see, we're at 56 games, so you've got what is that, 26 games left.
Yeah.
So you basically have guys coming to compete for that before March or April, basically.
Yeah,
It's
and
what you
so
see for it.
I mean,
For
so
games.
yeah, so Denver, they've played. So so Jokic has played what 52 games on the season, and I think the Nuggets, they're at like what 60.
But if they finish outside the top 2 or 3, I don't know if he would even get MVP. Like, how would the team seeding affect him for getting the MVP?
I don't think the team seating should affect anything because MVP is the most valuable player. It's not
I
the
think
most
it
valuable
does.
team, but it shouldn't.
It
That's the
shouldn't,
thing.
but it
It
does. Because
shouldn't.
even with SGA, if they can get the number 1 seeding and basically the way he's playing right now, like I mentioned, if he could finish those 65 games, then I think he has a pretty powerful resume coming into the season.
But the way he played last year compared to this year, again, not to take away from how good of a player he is, but he's not playing like he played last year. And I think that's because a lot of teams have to figure out that OKC team. Like they're not as threatening as they were last year when you have teams like Spurs who could beat you. You got Knicks who beat you. You got Detroit has beat you. Lakers have beat you. So they're not as dominant, and I think it's because teams have figured them out. And SGA is not as effective with his. I mean, he's known for his midi, right? His mid-range shot. He's not effective there because they know that that's where he goes to get a shot, kind of like Chris Paul. Chris Paul's like elbow to elbow. He likes those shots, so they're kind of doubling down on that.
Yeah, I think he has a lot of I think his offensive engine like works for him. So I think that works out perfectly for Nikola. I think he's playing a really great game though at this time, for sure.
For sure.
Yeah.
Let's
So
move into.
real
Oh, go
quick,
ahead.
real quick. So Jokic is allowed to miss one more game for the rest of the season. That's it.
That's going to be tough. He
Yes.
probably not going to get MVP then.
Yeah, he's allowed to miss one game. So that's going to be a big factor. Like you said, the 65 game, this load management thing. Real quick, before we go on, I want to ask you guys this, kind of piggybacking. Do you think they should reduce that and let's say 62 games? You're allowed to miss 20 games on the year. I mean, is that fair? I mean, what do you guys think is a fair number? Because I don't think a person, if you played less than 60 games, in my personal opinion, I would say 62 should be a fair number. You're allowed to miss 20 games. I mean, that's 3 weeks worth of games. And when you look at it, they're only playing 2, maybe 3 times a week. What is it? I think it's 2 one week, 3 the next week. So you got 5 games,
Sometimes they're playing 4.
but that's a rare occasion. That
Yeah.
is not saying it happens, it doesn't happen, but that's a rare occasion. So when you look at it, you're talking about you pull a hammy. You've been, you got all of us have spent time. We've all pulled hamstrings. That's you're out for 3 weeks. Usually 3-4 weeks to allow complete healing, no practice, no nothing. So let's say you're out 3 weeks. You have probably 7 games, 8 games.
Yeah. Because
I mean,
in tournament, when the in tournament season was in, I mean, they were playing 3-4 games a week. 2 of them were in season games, and the other 2 were just regular games.
yeah. So that's where. So what my question is, what do you guys think is a fair number, in your guys' opinion?
I think it's
Honestly,
no
though, we
less than 60
understand
though.
why games matter. How many games you play matter.
Should an MVP, if a person plays in 45 games, should they get MVP?
Depends on the stats. Like if they're leading the league, like leading the league in scoring and leading the league in, 2 categories or more, they should be eligible, I think.
But now, again, if you've only played in 45 games and you're leading the league, I mean, well, what happens if you take those numbers? You know what it's like being, a basketball player. You're going to drop, stats. You're going to have poor shooting games.
Got it.
Yeah.
You're not going to hit that. So that's where I think the league having a minimum. I agree with what you just said, Mike. You had said like 60 games. I'm like, I'll give you 62. I'm kind of like right in there. But that's just my personal thought. You can miss 20 games. So
Yeah.
I think they do need to adjust it a little bit, even though I do agree with what Junkie said. Obviously, the NBA has gotten substantially softer, but it's one of those things that I think the NBA does need to look at. Like, should we drop this down? Because when you do have players like Jokic, who's doing what he's doing this
I,
year, statistically.
I don't necessarily. I don't necessarily. Go ahead. Sorry.
I was just going to say, has it gotten softer or has it become more modernized? I feel like there's just so much more talent that, I mean, it's
I don't think you. That's what I'm saying. When you say, okay, the last couple of years, probably not counting last year, but the years before that, you could probably have a big case for that. But if you've been watching basketball last year and even this year, I mean, some of these games have been straight up dog fights, like straight up banging in the paint, straight up just in your gut, in your face. I mean, it's been so many fights, so many ejections. I mean, I don't know how much rowdier or physical you want it to be. If people are, I mean, there was just a riot with who was it from the
Scottie Pippen Jr.?
No, there was another one. There was that one, and then there was the one with the guy from the Spurs. Was it the Spurs?
That was Detroit.
No. From Detroit, the guy from Detroit, number 0.
Yeah, it was Detroit and it was San Antonio. It was because they weren't, they're not backing down. Detroit is going back to the old school bad boys era. That's what you're seeing them play. That's what I want to see. I mean, I love that. But that's,
well, you got that game. You have the Scottie Pippen game. You got the Jazz game. You got the what was the Lakers and the who just played? The Lakers and the and the Spurs.
Yep.
They just got into it. I mean, it's just all over the league now. It's not. I mean, it's getting serious. Like these
It's
teams are
getting
getting
physical.
better, and
It's
it's
getting
getting a lot
physical
more.
again.
Yeah, yeah, it is.
We got 10 cats in a coat. That's a fantastic name. But hey, we appreciate you hopping on here. It's a good rule to prevent fake load management. I could see it going down to 60 games, 55 at its furthest. You know,
Yeah, I agree.
that's a good one. But hey, before that, so we're gonna get right on into the next question. Give us just 1 second. Why are you not switching? All right, I guess we're not.
You turn a simple into magic. Turn the background to a classic. Love ain't just in February, no. It's late night calls when your heart feels heavy. It's slow jams playing in a parked up Chevy. A real thing, baby, we don't move petty. Love ain't just in February, yeah. Sunday sweats and your big t-shirt ready. Every month you're my Valentine. Love all year, you're my favorite sign.
We're switching again.
Musical chair.
But anyway, hey, that new album right there, just so you guys know, Malik Porsche. If you guys haven't heard it yet, you need to hit up iTunes. Is it iTunes anymore? Apple Music, whatever they want to call it. What other channels is it on? Spotify.
You got it on Spotify. You could use it on Instagram, TikTok. It's in 27 different stores and soon to be in vinyls and inside your Walmart and your Target stores.
Hey, you all need to check out that album though, because that is taking it back old school R&B is exactly what that reminds me of. So on to our next one. What do we got?
So number 2 is battle of the 1 seed. We got the Thunder, Spurs, Pistons, and Celtics. Thunder and the Celtics are rolling with the headlines, the ESPN must-see showdowns with the OKC 42-6 versus the East since the last season, and Boston 9-1 in its last 10 games. Standing-wise, Pistons are leading the East with OKC, and the Spurs are neck to neck for the top seed in the West, with the Nuggets, Rockets, Lakers, Wolves jolting right behind. This will be our talk angles. Which top seed is most legit? Which one you trust in the 7-game series? And how much does seeding really matter in this particular era? Start with the first one. Which top seed is most legit? Which one do you guys think that the top seeds that are most legit? Give me 2 in the East, 2 in the West.
Sarai.
I feel like OKC is gonna take it all the way back, to be honest. I would have to say that they have such a deep roster. And I think, like we just talked about, SGA being on that roster, an MVP candidate, and they have an elite perimeter when it comes to players and things like that. So,
East.
East, I think Detroit. Surprisingly, I feel like Detroit is. I mean, they played good last year. I think this year they're really at the top of the division right now. They're ahead by several games as the number 1. And so, yeah.
What do you
Want
think,
me to
Mike?
go?
Yeah.
Yeah. So on the East side, if we go to the East, I think that Detroit does have a squad. Don't get me wrong. But when we're talking most legit, most experience in a 7-game series, I'm going to have to go with the Knicks. I'm going to have to go with the Celtics. And Tatum is on a 5-5 game. I mean, he's doing 5-5 scrimmages right now. You might see him in the playoffs or close to it right before. I don't know. The Celtics are looking good. The Knicks are looking good. Don't forget that the Cavs have been on a winning streak, a 21-game winning streak. And they're undefeated while adding James Harden. That was a big piece that they added to the Cavs. So the most legit, it's kind of a toss-up to say. Right now, I think Detroit has something good that is longevity. I just don't think that in a 7 game series they could beat like a New York team or a Celtic team or even a Cav team. I think that they could beat some of those guys underneath them, like the Heat, or any of those. But I think that those three teams are more legit than Detroit is right now. On the
With
west side, on the west side of things, I don't believe in the OKC Thunder this year. Like I said, they've been figured out. In a 7 game series, it's going to be hard to contain the Spurs if Wemby stays healthy, and that's a big if. Can they beat the Spurs? Can they beat even Jokic at sometimes? But I think there's pieces that Denver's missing, like Michael Porter Jr. So I'm not going to say that the Nuggets. The Lakers, when they're all healthy, we've seen them in 2 games, 3 games now, all healthy. They look very dominant. You also have, don't forget, the Minnesota Timberwolves. That's a sleeper team for me. And then there's one more team on the West is loaded, but there's one more team that I'm kind of interested to see if they make a push that I think we need to keep an eye on, and that's the Warriors. The Warriors with Porzingis and Al Horford and now playing healthy. Uh, we haven't seen them all play together with Green, with any of them and stuff like that. With Curry, Buddy Hield. I know they're missing Jimmy Butler. That would have been very very scary team with the healthy Jimmy Butler. But I like to see what that looks like maybe in a month. What does the Warriors look like with all of them being healthy and all of them on the floor? But I would say the top two for me would be the Lakers and the Spurs in the West, and I would say, and honorable mention would be Minnesota, and on the East side, I would say the Knicks and the Celtics, and give me the Cavs for honorable mention.
all right, so you talked about who did. So I'm going to start with the East. So Detroit has to fear Boston, New York, and Cleveland.
Correct.
That's who you got, right?
Yeah.
Detroit has been 7-2 on the season against them.
Yeah, we're talking 7 game series in the playoffs.
7 game series in the playoffs. I think
Are, are
I don't
they
think
ready? Are
I
they
think
at
they're ready. I think they're legitimately ready. Now, I think where they're going to struggle, which when you look at the losses that they had this year, they just had a 11-point loss to San Antonio. Wemby kind of went off, in that
yeah.
game. Obviously, people being ejected, everything like that. But it's their big. When you're playing against a guy who's got a 7'7" wingspan, you don't really have much you can do because you're running Jalen Duran, who's 6'10". That's your biggest guy. So I don't see them doing, anything along that because of guys like Wemby. Um, but I got Detroit in the East. I don't think that no matter what, I think Detroit is going to be representing the Eastern Conference this year. I just don't see anyone else beating them with the way that they're playing, whether it's home or the road. I mean, they've got 7 losses on the road, 7 losses at home. They got 14 losses on the year. I mean, and they're 9-3 against in the division. And as for the conference, they're 28-7. So you're talking about that. Yeah, there's not many people that are going to do anything when it comes to the Eastern Conference. As for the Western Conference, I think the biggest people, I would say it's going to go through San Antonio. Realistically, with what Wemby's doing, the big thing as for like if you looked at a number 2 team, don't get me wrong, I agree with what you guys said about SGA, but I don't think that they're going to have what's needed to compete with San Antonio. I think if anything, you're going to see the experience with Denver. And I think you're going to see, I agree with Mike on the honorable mention with Minnesota. But that Western Conference, I think it's up in the air between San Antonio, Denver, and you can probably put, like I said, Minnesota in that mix. I think OKC is going to get knocked out within the second round, no matter what. So, do you guys think that Do you realistically, Mike, think that Cleveland can do anything?
I think they do. I've watched their games. I've watched them play. They're a fast-paced team, so they've sped it up a little bit. And now adding, James Harden, which is a trustworthy person that you could give the ball behind the line. I think that helped them out tremendously because they were missing that. Like other than Donovan Mitchell, when Donovan Mitchell has the ball, you have to worry about a lot. But they didn't have another person that they have to really worry about like that. Now they add James Harden to that mix, and it's like that load comes off of Donovan Mitchell, and you see a whole different Donovan Mitchell. You see him more playing more freely because he's able to dish the ball out. He's able to dribble drive. He's able to take that shot with confidence and not having to be, if he's doubled down, he just throws it. He just throws it to James Harden. James Harden knocks down the three, or James Harden gets to the line, stuff like that. So that's going to matter down the stretch. And I think that they've been playing really well. With the Celtics, Jaylen Brown has really carrying it. The surprising piece to that one was Peyton Pritchard. Peyton Pritchard has been playing out of his mind, which he was just a bench guy last year. Coming off the bench, just giving him some really good minutes with Derek White. But he's been playing really well. So
I mean,
those two teams.
And he's still coming off the bench. That's where I've looked at him like I kind of think Peyton should be starting.
He could be starting with the Jazz. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if high caliber teams like that. I just don't know because the thing that the Celtics are, and outside of Pritchard, the thing that the Celtics are struggling with is a big. I think every team nowadays, like before, they would run small ball where you had like the Golden State Warriors, right? When they were on their little streak, they're running really small ball. If you think about it, with Draymond Green at the five, but now it's the big. It's going back to the big and what the big can do. And the ability for the big to shoot a three. You have Jokic shooting threes. You have Carl Towns shooting threes. You have Jokic. You have Wemby shooting threes. The big is now shooting threes and now spreading the ball around. That's what the Celtics are really missing. But outside of that, Jaylen Brown is kind of picking up the slack for that. So every time you shoot a two, he's coming down and shooting a three. So he's kind of picking up the slack. How long can that last, though, before it really bites you in the behind? And when you're talking about Garrett with the Cavaliers, he's banging out. You know what I'm saying? When you're talking about you're talking about what was the other team? Karl Towns and OG, they're banging out. So really, it comes down to the bigs. You know what I'm saying? And in those last minutes as well. It's starting to go back to that. It's like you need a big, and you've seen the struggle last year. Even I know I mentioned this before, but with the Lakers losing last year, it's because they lost against the Minnesota Timberwolves because of Rudy Gobert. That's crazy, and it's only because they didn't have a big. And now that they have Aiden, who's been playing really well, you've seen a difference. That just goes to tell you that the big is now valuable this season. Like you have to have a big or you're not going to compete. And so when it goes down the stretch, a lot of these bigs are now are in position to, and they don't have to shoot threes. They have to just get the rebounds. They have to be able to dish the ball. You talked about the assist game. They have to be able to dish the ball out and be able to get guys in position to score the basketball. And the big is very, very important going down the stretch.
All right. So, with that, we are going to lead it into our next segment. And of course, this is Sarai's time. So, Sarai, take it away.
Oh, look at this little baby.
Yeah, so this is our pet of the week. Her name is Bambi. So in case you guys don't know, Hearts and Houses are also Hearts and Meows. We do also have a cat rescue as well. Bambi, let me tell you a little bit about this, Jules. So she's 7 months old. She's a tabby cat. She is litter box trained, spayed, vaccinated, and chipped. She's shy and fearful. She does have a shy and fearful personality, but with time and patience, she's such a sweet girl. I do say go ahead and scan that QR code, visit the website at heartsandhousrescue.org. It is a 501c animal rescue nonprofit organization based in Texas. It is powered by the passion and dedication of all of us volunteers who have a heart for the animal community. If you're interested in adopting any type of animal, whether it's a dog or a cat, you can visit our website under the Adopt tab. You can also donate. Like I mentioned, we are a 501 profit, so it is tax deductible. If you'd like to make any type of donations, there's also Amazon wish list for each of the dogs and cat. So go ahead and visit our website if you're interested.
I want to know, where's Hearts and Hooves? When are we starting it? I want to know, those of you from Texas, how come we all ain't got Hearts and Hooves yet? Why haven't we got that started? Who's got the location?
Why did your voice automatically change when you were talking about hearts and hooves?
There's certain words that just sticks. There's certain words that just sticks.
Just because they in Texas don't mean you got to talk like with a twang and say, no, hey, how many of y'all in Texas want that hearts and hooves?
Ain't that bad, brother. There's certain words it sticks. But with that being said, what do we got for our last one?
That's Mark's favorite. Mine's Mark says, with that being said, and Sarai is, I'm confused. Let's walk into the next segment. This next segment is what we're talking about is statement games. There's been a lot of statement games. In the last couple of weeks, we've been talking about these hard-hitting games. These games that are now on Tuesday nights. You can catch in the paint. You can catch primetime with primetime sports with SLM with DP and Dom. Almost drew a blank for a second, but you can catch them on Tuesdays and Thursdays. They've been hitting all the big games that have been going on. And there's been some really huge games. They're forcing these teams to play against each other in these battles on prime time and on Peacock. You guys can catch those games Tuesdays and Thursdays with DP and Dom on prime time. But we have a lot of those statement games, a lot of those big games. But the ones that we're going to talk about is the games from this week. And statement games is the Magic stunned the Lakers. We got the Hornets historic shooting, and we got the Hawks with the new look. Let's start with the Magics. They went 110 over 109 over the Lakers in LA, and it was wild close. There was 11 fourth quarter lead changes with Luka scoring 22 and 15, and LeBron active on both ends, and Wendell Carter Jr. Winning it with the putback. So there was a last minute shot that was missed. Luka had an opportunity to shoot the ball at the 3-point. I don't know if he froze up, got scared, but then he last couple of seconds gave it to LeBron. LeBron just turned around and just threw it up in the air. They end up losing that game. Then we move on to the Hornets. Hornets just became the first team ever to hit 25 plus threes in back-to-back games, bombing 25 against the Bulls after doing it to the Wizards. Then we have, I don't know if you guys remember Jonathan Kuminga, who was on the Warriors, is now on the Hawks. And Kuminga dropped 27 in his Hawks debut, with Trae Young out with a knee issue for Washington, but he got a standing ovation in his return to Atlanta. So out of these statement games, what was the biggest game, or what was the biggest headline for you guys? Was it the Magic stunning the Lakers, the Hornets historic shooting, or the Hawks new look that stood out for you guys?
I mean, I don't know if the Magic beating the Lakers is like a shock, because the Lakers haven't been playing defense lately in any of their games. It seems like they've been missing a little bit of defense on their side. But I would probably say for sure the Hawks, I would probably say that's probably a shocking game for me.
Mark?
I think it's actually I probably would say the Hornets. With the Hornets having back-to-back games at 25 threes, I mean, that's some impressive shooting. And I agree with what Sarai just said. when it comes to with the Lakers. I mean, Lakers and Magic. It's not like it's a subpar team. Orlando is just as good. They're only a 2-game separation between on the records. It was a tough, hard fought, battled game. Seeing Luka do what he did, that right there. Usually he would take that shot on a normal basis, but I watched the replay on that multiple times, and I thought he was thinking that LeBron was going to do something different, and it put him out of position, and that's why he gave the ball because he knew time was expiring. So, I mean, if I had to choose between one of the three, I would go with Orlando, or with Charlotte, with the back-to-back 25 threes. I mean, if I look at it realistically, I'm going to say it's the game that's being played right now, with Detroit and OKC. I mean, for those of y'all that don't know, Detroit's up by 6 with 28 seconds left after just having that big loss to San Antonio, to come back and do what they did and drop a 122 right now on OKC. So, I mean,
That's what I'm saying. It's just, I don't know. It's crazy.
But
I
yeah,
think
but
the Hawks
this
had a
season
really
is.
good defensive game too. So I think that's also
there's no defense whatsoever anymore. I mean, let's be honest. Teams are averaging like what 102. I mean,
the intensity was there.
Intensity's there. I'm not denying that. Intensity is there, 100%. But we're not seeing defensive games like we used to see. A lot of people, obviously, you have back-to-back games at landing 25 threes. I mean, that right there is 75 points just from that.
Mm-hmm.
So just the offensive, the way they're doing, you'd mentioned earlier, the bigs are shooting the three. I mean, Wemby grew up in a Euro era, obviously, from where he's from. That was their forte. Same thing with Jokic. When you look at guys like Karl Anthony Towns and Anthony Davis, those guys were only 6'5" going in as freshmen, sophomores, when even as seniors in high school and going into college, all of a sudden they hit that growing spurt right at 18. To the next thing they're like 6'11", 7 foot. It's like, hold up. And they were playing shooting guard just a season before. So, I mean, that right there, you're just seeing how things are kind of adapting. So do I like the 3 ball? No, I want the good old fashioned, I want to see backboards being broken, crap like that, but I mean, all in all, it's obviously the game is changed drastically, but so I will stick with that 25 point, 25 3-pointer back-to-back games.
Yeah, I don't think it's a lack of defense anymore. I think it's just the upscale of how these guys are now being. I mean, we have AAU that has been taking over. We have the pace of the game is a lot faster than it ever been. The ability to get to the hoop and what they're doing, and even schemes and plays. Now, 2 years ago, the defense. Like I mentioned before, 2-3 years ago, I mean, they were averaging in the 120, 140 range. Now we're getting games back down. So I think, 109 to 111 is not horrible. I mean, we're used to seeing that in the NBA all the way back. But the ability to shoot the three as a, center, yeah, it has changed. Yeah, because the game is evolving. And as the game continues to evolve, and a lot of that has to do with Curry. I mean, the young kids, they want to shoot behind like Curry and do this and the little shimmy and, all the rest. It's just that's just where it's at. The three, when you get to shoot the 3 ball, if you're a short guy, shooting the 3 ball is like a big guy dunking a windmill, doing a windmill dunk. That's the equivalency. So if I'm able to shoot the 3 or a turnaround 3, that excitement is the same as me going up and windmilling it and dunking it, I think, for a short dude. So I don't think that the game has shifted to where there's not playing defense. I think absolutely are playing hard defense. And if we're watching the same games this year, they've been playing really good defense. What's the score on the game right now?
Right now at this second, it's 120. Actually, it's where's it at? Just wrapped up 124-116.
Go Spurs.
They lost, didn't they?
Did they lose?
Spurs are
Detroit
right
won.
now. No, Detroit won. Detroit
Yeah.
beat OKC. Right now, the
Right.
Spurs are up 110-107 with 4 seconds or 8 seconds left. So they're up by 3.
And who the Spurs playing?
Toronto.
Go Embiid.
I mean, it's Toronto, but yeah, I mean, I don't think. But if I had to choose, yeah, I mean, it's very impressive. Go back to back, 25 straight. You know, I mean, they played against two bad teams, but outside of that, besides that, I mean, even the ability to score 25 plus threes in back to back games is pretty impressive. You know, going back to that Laker game, going down to that, they did have back to back games at home. Played very tough against the team they played before, and then they played against the Magic. Magics are no scrub. They have power on their team. They're no scrubs. They could play with Suggs and those guys. It's a legitimate team. It's not no, you're not playing against a bottom team right there. That's
They
a
lost to the
playoff caliber
Spurs
team,
Sunday too, right?
huh?
They lost to the Spurs Sunday.
Uh,
Detroit did. They lost the other day.
yeah. The Spurs been on a tear as of late. But let's see if they cool off. I think that they'll cool off though. But anyway, yeah. So I'm gonna go with that one. I mean, and the Hawks they are with the new look with Kaminga actually being into himself. I do want to mention that's a big deal. That he's able to have a team on his back now, where he had to kind of share the ball around with guys in the Warriors. He wasn't that guy. Where now he's on a Hawks team where he is that guy, and he's going to have to perform. And 27 points in his first debut is not half bad. But if I had to pick the three, I would say that it's more impressive to score back to back 25 plus threes than anything else.
I also think the chemistry shifted for the Hawks as well. I feel like there was a different dynamic when
Bro, why would KD say go Spurs when he's on the Rockets? Come on, bro. Stop playing, Kendall.
Ken, you and I just have commune.
You would think that he's a Celtics fan. He's a Patriot fan. That's weird. But anyway, to each its own.
I want to ask this. Do you see this is not a part of the top 3 or anything like that, but I want to know your guys' thoughts with what is happening in Sacramento with the Kings. Do you guys think, I mean, Doug Christie was a great player. Well, I shouldn't say great. He was a really good player.
So was White Chocolate.
White chocolate. I'll take White Chocolate as a point guard. You know, there's only one guy to take over White Chocolate. That's Pistol Pete. I mean, and yes, I'm aging myself a lot. If y'all don't know who Pistol Pete Maravich is, then y'all need to learn, educate yourself.
I mean, that Sacramento team, they at once upon a time was Stojakovic, they had Weber, they had they had
Vlade.
Who else is yeah, I mean the flopper.
They had the flopper. LeBron learned from him.
Yeah, stop playing. They had who else did they have on that team? Bibby was on that team.
You had Bibby, Christie,
Christie.
I remember the starting. Squad, when Christie was there, that team started with Bibby. Bibby was the one. Christie was 2. Stojakovic was at the 3. C-Web was 4, and Vlade was at 5.
Yeah, they were nasty, and they had a bench too. They just couldn't get past the Lakers. But anyway, what's going on with the Kings? What did you want to know?
I mean, do you see them possibly taking the Kings? If they do an expansion team, like just taking them out of Sacramento because of how bad they've played?
No, not at all.
They're going to Vegas.
Nah. No, they're not.
I mean, I'm just saying the Vegas
Ve-
Kings. It
no, the
fits
Vegas. No,
If
it won't.
it's the Aces,
Kings, Aces. I'm
Art,
just
you just came
saying.
up for something. Wait a minute.
I'm just saying. It makes sense. They can't win
And
in
the
Sacramento.
baseball could be the Spades. Aces, Kings, Spades. We're in this. Copyright that.
Stop playing.
I
Whole deck of cards in Vegas.
I'm just. I mean, think about it.
After this stream, I'm gonna be praying for you.
But no, like honestly, with how poorly, I mean, you got 14 wins on the season. There are 4 wins on the road.
Is that a new stadium they just built?
I don't care what I don't even know. Like to be
Because
honest,
they have the purple beam now and all that. I don't know if that's a.
Maybe I should go for the underdog. Maybe I should go for the Kings.
Stop it. It's all right. You doing too much.
Let's see. Let's take a look. The Golden One Center was opened in 2016, so it's been around for 10 years.
Yeah, that's more of the newer stadiums.
I mean, but ever since the Malou family got rid of them, that's when they really have. Nobody's doing anything, and they aren't getting any rosters. They're looking like they're going to end up with the number 1 pick. I don't know. I think you got to get out of. I think they got to get out of there. I mean, but it's the same answer that the Athletics do. They had to get out of Oakland.
Yeah, but they've been there. They've been there for some years though.
And look what they did. They kept everybody they got. Ship them out. Ship them out. Ship them out. Build them up. Ship them out. Done with the rookie contract. Gone. You know, that's what was going on in the baseball world. They just can't get anybody to go into Sacramento like whatsoever. They just got their 47th loss right now.
Yeah, the Athletics are not going to be able to do all that here in Vegas. They're going to have to really perform.
I mean, and that's what I'm saying. If
you got to pay for that stadium,
if you're gonna, I mean, well, those that are living in Vegas are also paying for that stadium too, part of their taxes. Because I believe, if I remember correct, 50% of the stadium is being paid through tax money.
What taxes? Federal?
They're like proper. There's something that I was reading that
there's no
part of the stadium.
No state tax there.
It was something to do with taxes. They were talking about that's how it was going to get funded.
I don't know.
So
they might pull what the Raiders did and just sell it back to Clark County.
It's possible, but that's what we got for tonight, ladies and gentlemen. That's what we got
for tonight, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm about to mute you. But no, we want to thank you guys for hopping on here. Everyone in the comments. I
want to know if Sarai is still confused.
I'm always confused.
Yeah, I'll agree with that one.
With that being said, go ahead.
Just exactly. With that being said, that's mine. Thank you guys for hopping on here tonight, and we will be bringing you more content. Check us out again at sportsloungemedia.com. It has everything being revamped, working on it. Our lovely CIO is helping take care of those things and navigating it. Be checking out for the blogs and all that good stuff. And of course, we are upon baseball season. So yes, you will start seeing more reels. Spring training has happened and it is amongst us. I mean, it's the greatest time of the year for me. I know some of you all.
Baseball season.
Exactly. It's baseball season to me. And that's what I care about. Yeah, I hear people talk about missing football, but no, it's irrelevant to me as of right now because it will stay baseball season.
You can't say that as a can't say that on here, bro. What are we doing?
I said to me as of right yes, but to me right now it's baseball.
Okay, we all have favorites.
Exactly. We all have favorites 100%. We won't hold it against you all. So, But thank you all. We'll
TikTok shop, TikTok shop. No, I'm just kidding.
but no, thank you. Remember, like, follow, subscribe each and every one of our shows, and don't forget to get at us. And you're also going to see all the new merchandise. You obviously see dad hats up there. We've got our polos, we got our hoodies, we got everything. That web store is going active next week. I know it's supposed to be done a few weeks ago, but we ran into some hiccups and some delays, but everything is being lined out. So all your merchandise needs for Sports Lounge Media will be available through our website. It'll send you straight to the link to go to Cali Built, because that is where it is all shipped from. So thank you all, and we hope you all have a blessed night. Peace out.
Bye, y'all.
This segment is brought to you by Brian Martino Construction. Welcome to the lounge.